What's poppin', everybody? This is y'all girl Regal, and you guys are tuned into a new segment that I am calling Real Talk with Regal. And I brought my good friend and my good sis along, Miss Erica Speaks.
What's up? What's up, everybody? It's your girl Erica, aka Erica Speaks. I'm coming to y'all live straight out of North Carolina today.
Kakalake. Man, so we're going to get into some things today and have some real good conversation and dialogue. And before we do that, though, Regal me, baby. Go ahead, baby.
Hey.
Baby. Go ahead, baby.
Hey.
Oh, y'all know the theme song was coming with me. Every video, I don't care, is coming along. Well, video. But yeah, Erica actually made the theme song up for me. So big shout out to you.
Yeah, man. And shout out to you for just taking that and running with it and doing your thing in terms of the podcast. I mean, radio, this new segment, the culture of the sexes. You've been killing the game, girl.
I'm trying. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Man, it's been a long journey, but yeah, I've just really been trying to stay focused throughout this whole journey of the last 9 months. While I was like, you know what, just because I feel like I can't be successful in one other part of my life, I'm just going to turn my focus to another part of my life. And thank you. I appreciate that. It means
absolutely.
A lot. Man, so let me tell y'all how I met this crazy mofo over here. And it's so funny. I remember because, we met at Lexington Law Firm, first day of training back in 6 years ago, October 6th. And we had to stand in front of the class and tell about ourselves and stuff. And just to the front of the class, I'm a little ghetto. It's whatever. I'm in the class looking at her like, she funny. Like, she works. And so in my head, I'm thinking, oh, she bougie as fuck. That was
wow.
She bougie. Yes, my name's Erin McManley. I'm from North Carolina.
I did not talk like that. I did not talk like that.
But I was like, oh, she cool. I think instinctively as Black people, when we are like at work, we always like, okay, the other Black person. Like we always peep each other out. And
always scoping for the other Black person. We're always
like, okay, I'm gonna see her at lunch. We gonna talk or whatever. Like, and so that was cool. Was Queen in our class too, or was Queen already? Queen was in.
I don't think she was in our class.
It was another light skinned girl with glasses, huh?
No, that I don't remember.
Yeah,
I really don't even remember going to the front of the classroom. So I'm the wrong person.
Yes, I remember you going to the front of the classroom. I was weak. But yeah, that's how we met. And it was cool. And it was funny because as close as we are today, we didn't become fast friends. It was like, I think we started really kicking it maybe like the end of 2015, maybe the beginning of 2016. Yeah, because you want to tell the story? Why we wasn't friends? Okay, long story. Because that real quick. She thought I was trying to hit on her. I wasn't, because I don't want to put an ass. Nobody wants
she was.
She's from the South, and she wasn't used to as freely and okay, I can't say that. I know your sister, my bad.
Yeah.
I don't have a filter. Y'all know I'll be fucking around. So I made a comment that alluded to the fact of trying to hit on her, totally joking. She took it up the butt, totally serious. And we was across the call center floor. So I lifted up my whiteboard and it had something on it. Her ass must have looked at me, her eyes, and she just sat down so quick.
Oh, I thought we were just friends.
And all I know, like the next break, she was avoiding my ass. The next break after that, the next day, she was avoiding me. And I was just, all right, fuck it, cool. I'll let shit roll off my, cool, it's fine, fuck it. And then, as time went on, we worked together and she made it up into leadership before I did. And then we just started climbing the ladder. So eventually, okay, y'all, I'm going to just say it, sorry. Ooh. It's quarantine time. I need my nails done. If it's a problem problem for you. Please send me some money so that I can go to my cousin to get my nails done. Thank you.
Same over back there. Same over.
Cause y'all know I'm animated, so I'm doing all this talking, and it's just like sis out here looking bad, but I'm still cute though.
Listen, exactly. We all got our struggles right now, sis. As long as we still kicking it, we good.
Hell yeah. So eventually, through all that though, we really became cool. We became close.
Yeah.
And we went through so much challenging obstacle and really rewarding situations working at Lexington together. I feel like we really professionally and personally developed tremendously at that place. So it's really cool.
For sure. And as far as just my perspective with meeting Rebecca, it was she was different. She was definitely different from what I'd been used to moving to Arizona. And it was interesting because I moved there within a couple of weeks. I landed that job at Lexington. So I went there without knowing anyone. So I was already just telling myself I'm going to have to be open to meeting new people, meeting different people. But she was different, but at the same time, she still reminded me a lot of home. She still had that culture into her core. And what I liked about her, what I always gave her a hard time about was just how positive she was. She was over the top positive all the time. So yes, her personality, her experiences, her openness, her just downright being real AF, just everything that you talk about when you speak about in your show of walking in your truth, you've been doing that since day one, since I met you. And that's one thing I appreciate. Because again, it helped me to also see that like you're real, like you're the real deal. And that's something that I feel like everybody should have in their corner, somebody that's as real as that. So thank you for that.
Oh, stop. Thank you. I just did my makeup.
Oh my gosh. Dramatic. I forgot that the dramatic part.
She's way more dramatic than I am. Don't let her fool y'all in this video, okay?
Guilty. But I definitely agree that over our time working there together, we grew a lot. And I think a lot of that was because we also shared similarities in terms of a lot of firsts that happened for us there. Like it was our first corporate position, both they're our first leadership positions or leadership roles in the corporate business. Learning the good and bad sides of socializing for the first time, you know. Of course, us everybody, but also making lifelong friends, you know. So, and a lot of first time making a lot of first times of tough decisions too.
What is something you feel like? Because I think that we realized the struggles of being a Black woman in corporate America as we were in. I knew we heard about it before, like women get less money, and then I didn't realize that it was even less money for Black women, and just certain things that I wasn't aware of until you just sit back and you just start peeping things. And our whole time there, let me just put a little picture. Our whole time at being Lexington, only one of our OMs were a Black African American woman. So, and she left quick. She was like, I don't have time for this bullshit. And I really appreciated her time there because she taught us some shit. I feel like she was a straight up boss, and I love her.
Yes, she was.
I don't want me to blast you right now, but I love you, and just thank you for being authentically yourself in that position. I did have an opportunity to work with her on another, project and company after that, and just to see her same boss babe mentality and just professional and fairness. Like it was a beautiful thing to see. But I said all that to say this. What do you feel like were some challenges you faced being a Black woman at Lexington?
So for the first time, of course, and I'm saying of course because it's the most common, to experience the angry Black woman stereotype. You know, if now there were days, granted, there were days where I was visibly upset because I did have to learn how to mask my emotions in a lot of situations. So there were those days, but there were also
definitely
days.
wear your heart on your sleeve. You don't hide it well.
But there were more times where that wasn't the case, and that's the first, you know, that's the first thing that you kind of jump to, or that's the first, you know, they had this perception is reality type of way of looking at things. So I experienced that, but one of the biggest things that I learned and experienced was and was probably even more what was probably the bigger lesson was not the angry Black woman stigma, but it's the powerful Black woman stigma. Mm-hmm. Not the stigma, but the powerful Black woman, period, and what that does to a corporation, or what that can do to corporate America, and which is pretty much shake shit up. And also being one of the reasons that I ultimately ended up leaving was being in a situation where, because of who I am, this young, intelligent, deeply rooted in her culture, African-American woman standing up to people that did not feel that I had a right to stand up to them, that felt that was disobedient and I to do so, and therefore embarrassing to them, and therefore unacceptable for them. So, and that was met with retaliation of all sorts that I mean I won't even go into detail about, but it was in that moment that I realized that they were displaying their weakness, and the weakness that people who retaliate in those situations, the weakness that they show is that they act out of their emotion. You're solely fueled off the fact that you don't like the fact that I'm standing up for myself. You're fueled off the fact that you don't like the fact that I have a backbone,
that I have a voice.
Right, I have a voice, an opinion, and I'm willing to stand up for what's right. So ultimately, I wasn't a person that could be controlled. And when you're in that position, that can be a dangerous spot to be in, because when you're in that position, you have to know what is at the end of the road for you. And it's not going to be you coming out on top inside of that job, but it's something bigger waiting for you. You know, outside of it, of course, you can walk away with your dignity, you walk away with your voice, you walk away with your head held high, knowing you didn't conform, and you walk away ultimately knowing that they were not able to get the best of you and put you in the box of just you know, okay, I'm just gonna hop on board now, or that box of just, okay, I'm just gonna zip my mouth up, throw away the key. So that within itself, the powerful Black woman is something that I noticed was off-putting, but it's not something that I would change.
Definitely not. I mean, that's who you are. That's like, you're in your constitution as a Black woman. You're never going to change that, and you should never change it, because one, it's not like you're speaking bullshit. You have something to say. Your voice is important, and you actually care about everybody, you know, and when you do speak out, it's really for the fairness, the justice, and everybody has a right to be a human and has a right to share this space, and let's not discredit that. So please never, ever, ever stop speaking up, because you know I'm gonna be right there. For me, that
can never happen.
Never, girl. Some of the challenges that I faced there, I'll say a bad challenge first and then a good one, because I really felt like this was something that opened my mind. But as far as being a Black woman in corporate America, I realized that those that you think that you can trust the most are the ones that you can't trust at all. And for me, being such a people person, I think that was something that was the most hurtful to me, because whether you report it to me or I report it to you, I genuinely give a fuck about people. So the situations that we go through when you expect people to act differently or to have your back and just stand up for what the hell's right. Don't stand up for me, stand up for what's right. And to not get that reciprocated in return, it's like, I've given you a lot of my energy. So that's one. And I learned that in the fire and in the midst of the storm is when you really realize what the hell you're made of. And so those challenges can either really make you or break you. And I got to a point at Lexington where it was like, I can't stand for the BS anymore. I have to make this choice, even though from the outside looking in and even from the inside looking out, I was like, this is not what you need to do. But I trusted the God within me and what it was telling me to do and what I know I needed to do and how I needed to move. And in the beauty of that, I realized how smart I was and that I could trust myself. And one of the other things that I learned while working at Lexington, shout out to my manager, John Minna, he reintroduced me to The Secret. Now, I'm not saying that he was a great manager or anything like that, and that he was not a sexist prick, but I'm saying he reintroduced me to The Secret, and for that I am appreciative, because I think that's something that I had been in connection with. Like my auntie would always give it to my mom and stuff, and I seen it around the house, and I picked the book up. I thought it was boring, so I put it back down. But he made us watch a video, and it was really just when I was introduced to the law of attraction, which is into manifesting and learning how to really use my voice to manifest and create the life that I wanted. So I did a whole kind of unlearning process to relearn that. And that was really beneficial and has been continuously beneficial on my self-love journey. So that was something that I can say has taught me how to really break through obstacles and really realize like, this isn't an obstacle. This is like a practice run. You know, you got to build up more endurance. You got to build up more strength. So go through it. You're already victorious. You just got to keep fighting. And it helped me change my perception of the things that I was going through.
Right. No, absolutely. You definitely have to accept the good and the bad, because all of it turns out to be a growing opportunity, a learning opportunity for you to grow. And as far as the good with Lexington, you know, that's where I learned to get out of my shy stage. You're talking about someone who failed public speaking twice and didn't know the first word to say to a stranger. Going from that to leading meetings, to doing presentations, company conferences, leading training classes, and then just overall having the ability to just captivate an audience. And in terms of socializing now, a lot of times it's hard to shut me up. So that's
who you telling?
That's a 360. And then with that, you know, discovering the strength, my strength for mentoring, I was able to find an appreciation being in leadership for other people's journeys, and how everyone has their path and their story, their weakness and their strengths. And above all, just seeing the beauty of having a direct, positive impact on the life of somebody else. So it gave me all of that to kind of push me towards what my purpose is and fulfilling that purpose. And even the office politics, learning about that. So I don't have to be in that position where I'm kind of walking blindly into a situation. So, you know, and just the power of taking a stand. So the good experiences, the bad experiences, the mistakes in between, because there were a lot of those made as well. All of it were definitely was a learning opportunity. And I feel like Lexington, ultimately, it needed to happen to me, and it needed to happen for me, and it needed to happen for the journey. I still apply a lot of the skills that I learned there, and the lessons that I learned there to this day. And honestly, I hope that the people that I did encounter there that I don't still keep in contact with, I hope that they have since experienced a growth of their own, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And one thing that I feel like I took away from Lexington, you know, that damn stay out of the weeds with the paralegal. You got to stay out of the weeds. And so sometimes I play that back. Like when I find myself, because one of the things that I really wanted to focus on this year is my throat chakra, but I am going to talk more on that on an episode of Stay Regal Radio, so stay tuned. But it taught me how to set clear boundaries and things that come up when I'm negatively self-thinking, like stay out of the weeds, like it's just a quick pull back. Like, no, we're not doing that anymore. That's beneath us. We're here now. We don't do that. Stay out of that. So that's how I kind of took that and flipped it to really continue on working for my life. Yeah, that was about the only one I liked. That whole perception is reality. I just think it gives such a no, just because it's your perception does not mean that it's truly reality. That's how you feel about it, And so I just think it teaches people to build a facade and a false identity, and it gives everybody a reason to feel entitled to run with their opinions. Like, no, just because I perceive it.
So I will agree with that. But as far as the perception is reality, I will say to a certain extent that being in a business where you have to interact with other individuals, then that's just something that you just have to be conscious about. So and I'm saying, and just from a leadership perspective, that's not something that you would just outwardly move to, like you said, forming an opinion, forming judgment around, but that should be more of a conversation or a coaching opportunity to someone that may not have gotten it before. It doesn't have to go straight from, well, this is how this person looks, so this is what I'm going to formulate an opinion around, this is what I will formulate my actions around. So I think that perception is reality thing can be broken down in a lot of different ways. It doesn't have to go from 0 to 100 for sure.
I can agree with that a little bit, but
it doesn't look like you want. It doesn't look like you want to.
I mean, in that respect, I get it, but I know the messaging behind it is what you portray is how people are going to perceive you, and in that respect, that's the reality of you from a personal branding standpoint within corporate America.
Right.
That. But have a conversation with a person. Just because you think, oh, she's a bitch and I don't want to get a coaching from her, that doesn't mean that's how she is. That's how you see her. And exactly. I'm that, like, I'm sure you realize, like, being a supervisor to someone who's way older than you is the most, like, look, sir, I am not trying to be disrespectful. My mama raised me right. I'm so sorry that you have all these years of experience and they won't promote you. But you're on my team, so you need to follow what the hell I'm telling you to do, because my manager's on my back because you don't want to shape up. You're gonna get.
Oh my gosh, I think that's what a lot of paralegals that we were in charge of just did not realize. A lot of that stress came from behind the scenes, where and a lot of that was just a battle back and forth of us trying to make sure that we're, standing up for them, speaking up for them, all of that. And it's just, a lot of times those conversations would be cut and dry with them, but we were just exhausted from the fight of it, girl.
Man, because these guys off the floor, oh, hey, how you doing? In the back.
Right.
Write them up.
Right.
One more time and they're out the door. We're not, and that's like, well, wait a minute. They're going through this. They're trying. They're seeing the struggle, and it's like they don't give a fuck, but they in your face smiling. So you in their office talking about us, not knowing they don't care about you. Like, okay,
the pains of it. But I mean, it was a good ride nonetheless.
It was
a good ride, and honestly, again, there was a lot of mistakes made, being that was, or initially for sure, being that was my first time in leadership. But I can also appreciate the people that I was able to reach on a deeper level outside of just, metrics or business. Those, I mean, it's stuff like that kind of motivated you to get out of bed and go to work. Is just reaching people on a different level than just all business all the time. So I can appreciate that for sure.
So let's sip some tea. Being that you have lived both with a whole bunch of Southern gentlemen and now being on the West Coast, where you got this West Coast swag, in terms of dating, do you have a preference of what area you like to date in?
For sure. North Carolina all day.
She said
North Carolina all day.
What do you think the main difference is?
Anywhere but Arizona.
Man, it's crazy.
Anywhere but Arizona, girl. It was so as far as dating goes. I mean, obviously there was a very visible difference. That's the first thing I noticed was the lack in culture. But most of the guys that I dated weren't from Arizona. And the few that were, they just didn't seem to share, the same cultural understandings, background, the passion, that I did. You could say that may have been attributed to their upbringing, but I also believe that if it's something that you're lacking, and you truly want to know and you want to learn more about it, or to gain a better understanding of it, then you'd actually make the effort to do so. So I think that was also a problem for me, that there was a choice that was painfully obvious that was being made of just not caring enough to try to learn. So that was like a big elephant in the room with a lot of guys that I dated that was actually from Arizona. That, and it was a difference, but I think that there was a learning opportunity there as well. I think that with their personalities, which was different, the overall environment that was different, and also just me being in a different space in my life, learning a lot about what I wanted, my likes, dislikes, all of that, and getting out of that playing it safe versus sorry, because a lot of them would have gotten cut off like instantly. But I chose to kind of take more of to be more open-minded, thanks to I chose to be a little bit more open-minded. And what I got from a lot of those experiences was I understanding that we're going to get back what we tolerate, recognizing the difference between an honest mistake versus an actual character flaw. On the positive side of it, being able to let go and live in the moment, but also knowing my limitations, being honest about what my limitations were, and just overall protecting my peace, and knowing that me doing that is necessary, and being okay with being selfish in that sense,
Yeah, I feel like for any woman who is trying not to date, well, I can't say any woman, mainly Black women, because I just feel like we really, in AZ, we like the bottom of the barrel. And it's so crazy. Like, I used to work in a salon. I mean, from all different types of Black women will be like, oh, no, it's just Arizona. I don't know what it is about Arizona. So this is like perfect to come here and love on your damn self, because they're not gonna fuck with you, sis. They're just not messing with us.
And that's
so bad. I go to any other state and I am the shit in any other state. Arizona, if they're not white, Asian, or Mexican, I'm not getting hollered at. Just point blank, period. Now, since Arizona or Phoenix, namely, is starting to grow and people from all different walks of life in other states and countries are coming, people are starting to, there's more men who like Black women, Black men who like Black women. And I don't know, some of them are just a little off. The ones that are me are just a little off. And it's like, I'd rather not. At this point, I've been single, I think about maybe 6-7 years. So I've gotten really comfortable being by myself, and now I'm just getting I'm comfortable with my child. And so dating is like, you really have to be an extraordinary motherfucker, because I've fallen so deeply in love with myself that I don't want to put up with bullshit. Like, no, I'm not doing that. You're asking me too many questions. I'm not doing that. Like, and I think it's kind of like, I don't know what the cutoff is of being single, but there should definitely be a cutoff. You should not go like past 3-4 years of being single, because getting back into a relationship, you just like, no, you sneezed the wrong way. And yeah, I'm just not for it.
Yeah.
I thought I was independent before, but now I just feel like I'm talking to this guy and he was like, we're on a video chat and I'm doing something on my phone because he irritated me. I'm like, how come every time we talk, like you in bed? Well, what do you want me to be doing? I'm not at work. Ugh, this is it. I'm done. This is going to be our last conversation. And he was like, that is so unattractive. Every time you call, and then they don't have the best job, you know? And I'm like, so you're just comfortable? He's like, yeah, I'm making enough money. And I'm like, oh, I don't. I have a good job, you know? I'm not making enough. I want more. And he's just like, and then you want to ask me who I'm talking to on my phone because I'm not looking at you. Who are you, sir? You're not my man. And my man shouldn't be asking me shit like that either.
A lot of what you're saying sound a little it's a bit, I don't know, sis.
What? What do you mean? What part? I'll explain.
Okay, so boom. He's not where you want. He's not where you would want him to be career wise or with his job wise, but he's happy and he's financially stable.
Okay.
Secondly.
Okay. Let me do each point, please, so I can remember. So it's not that where he is not good enough. But just knowing the lifestyle that he lives and talking to him and the things that he says he wants, why are you comfortable with the job that you have? And then you're not doing anything else throughout the day but trying to come see me and sleeping. That doesn't make sense to me.
So do you know that the job that he has, do you know if that's something that can help him get the lifestyle that he wants?
Girl, he work at Food City. Okay, so
he may be a manager, sis.
He's not a manager at Food City.
He's not.
I would be like, cool. But like, you just cool being the cashier. And I mean, that's great.
Yeah.
We are not in our early 20s. You know what I'm saying? And he's older than I am. I'm 30. He's almost 40. Sir, why though? Why are you just so comfortable there? I feel like to talk to me, I need somebody that's going to be like, yo, that's great. You have X, Y, and Z. You know, if you moved like this and pushed it that way, you can have this. Like, I need somebody that's going to be able to put me up on game and we can share ideas and build together. I can't have somebody who's just comfortable being mediocre.
I get you.
Mediocre.
I get you. So it's not necessarily, putting him down, but just you recognize that that's just not a good fit for you. And I think that's necessary for you to, and that's that time that you spend, alone or single. I think that more people should do that, where they are able to discover, again, their likes and dislikes, and also just get an idea of what your own personal value is. So, with that, I mean, I've gone through the mud with some of these boys, girl. I've gone through the mud with them.
Me too, and I'm not going through the mud again if if we're not married. I'm not going through the mud with you.
Right, but what that's taught me, because I was single for a while, when I moved to Arizona, and a couple of years after moving there. So I was single for a minute, but I was able to let go of situations easier because it's like, okay, I reckon this is not a good fit. Right. We've tried it, we talked about it. Ultimately, this isn't gonna work. And you just have to be okay with knowing that something and somebody that is gonna be a good fit for you is still gonna be out there. Because it is. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna be in Arizona. Well,
I know if it's gonna be in Arizona. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm kind of nervous because I want to get out of AZ so bad. But the moment I'm like, okay, it's time for me to start planning my exit strategy, shit start popping off. And I'm like, damn, Lord, am I going to be in Arizona? Is this where I'm going to be at? Like, let me know now, please, so I can cry about it and move forward.
So when you say shit starts popping off, do you mean like a guy comes into your life? Or
bye. You'd have been around the last 6 years. Definitely not staying anywhere for a man. Like, come on now. I'm a single Pringle. No, like good opportunities, like this amazing job worked out. I just got this amazing place, an opportunity to get back on a dance team, to podcast with Roderick and Leon, like different great things start bubbling. And I think ultimately what that's teaching me is your mindset. Were you ready for these things 10 years ago, 5 years ago? Were you comfortable enough? Now, like, especially since my performance, I'm not gonna lie, and getting waist beads, like I've just been super confident and comfortable in my skin. And I knew that I was before, but like there used to always be those insecurities in the back of my mind, like, oh my God, people are gonna look at me. I got this crop top on, but fuck it, I just pushed through. Girl, now I'm up there in this crop top, like, and what? Because you're gonna get all this gut. That's what's gonna happen. So I love it though. I love the vibe that I have right now.
And you're gonna find and it's a man that's gonna come along that's gonna love it just as much, if not more, sis.
Or my woman. I am so comfortable. I either just
or your woman or your woman.
Thank you for acknowledging that. I appreciate that. But I'm just gonna say this for my woman. I'm tired of being a strong one. I really am. Look, I'm big. I get it. But I've been my mama big oxen baby my whole life. So I'm tired of carrying shit. I'm tired of pushing heavy shit, lifting. So I really hope you're strong enough to handle all this and some more, because I'm done.
I feel like you say that, and then if the opportunity presented itself, you will automatically switch right back to the strong.
I will, man, because like I know I will. I love being a protector, and a provider. So like for my woman to know, like, damn, I got her, that's some sexy shit. That's empowering, that's invigorating to me. And I like being that person that people can lean on. So of course I'm gonna be carrying some bags and shit when I get with my woman and stuff. So I already know. But baby, your ass gotta be strong enough to carry it when I don't feel like it. Cause I wanna be the soft sometimes too. Shit.
Sis said we gotta have a balance.
A balance.
I feel you, girl.
Real. Oh, okay. I seen this the other day and I was like, I just have to ask E this.
Here you go. Here you go.
What would you do if you were intimate with your dude, right? And it was real good and he called you daddy?
Stop it. Stop playing with me.
Stop. What would you do, sis? Like,
why do you find the craziest, like, why? Well, how do you find
man? I know crazy people on Facebook.
That's it. That's ending the moment. That's ending that moment, right? Excuse me, what did you say? Why did you say that?
It's a rap. He can't call you daddy?
Who are you out here calling daddy? Like,
oh, he calling you daddy. What if you was just putting it down?
No, he instantly was undercover. He instantly just became an undercover. Like, you're not just letting the word daddy escape your mouth. I'm not your father. Like, you're not.
Oh my gosh, I seen that. I could not stop hollering. Like,
no.
He called you daddy. Like,
No, I'm sorry. No. See, knowing you, like, you probably, I don't know what you will be doing to him to make them words escape his mouth, but I'm sure that would probably, knowing you, turn you on and make you go even harder.
I'm trying to keep my face, like, I honestly don't know, but I can't wait till my next relationship to see. I'm like,
I will hope that listen, ladies, if you have a man calling you daddy, check him. Do some second guesses.
I know. The homie on Facebook, she was like, "No, sis, he on date." She was like, "He's on gay dating sites. Let it go."
Right. No. Let it all the way go.
Which is cool. If y'all want to be gay, go ahead and be gay, but just don't bring nobody else. Or be honest. Like,
right.
No, like, yeah. And I think there's a huge misconception. I don't know if you're like the right person to talk to this about, but being bisexual in today's society, I think people feel like you just don't know what you want. And it's like, no, I do. I like women and I like men, and I can be comfortable in a committed relationship and married to a woman. and being committed to a man and married as well. Like, I see both options very perfectly for me, and I see myself being happy in either one.
So, okay. So the other thing that I hear about bisexual people is that they have this plethora of who they can choose from. Is that selfish to not pick a side?
No, and I just feel like, why do we have to pick a side though? Like, we're genuinely attracted to both. Why? And who says? I think so much of what goes on in our society and culture today is everybody saying, you need to act like that, and you got to act like that, and oh no, you're canceled because you don't act like this. And I have been actively trying to pull myself out of that mentality, because I noticed when I do Culture of the Sexes with the guys, that sometimes when it comes to Black men not dating Black women, I can be very much like, love you a Black woman, date you a Black woman, And what if they don't want to? I should not be forcing my beliefs on other people. This is how I feel. I'm standing in it. You do you. And so
I feel you. I feel you. But they can stay away from me though. if you can't appreciate the queens.
Yes, so I feel you. I definitely understand. Trust me. And so
I will say, so this I agree with you that no one should be confined to a box or a space just off of other people's opinions about them. So yeah, let them do what they want to do. Let them be who they want to be, as long as that doesn't come to an impasse with me directly. So if you
out here down a Black woman, don't be down in Black women in front of me. Like, no, you don't have to do all that.
Word. So and don't be out here.
I'm not down on white people. I love white people. Do y'all, but be an ally though. Don't just act like everything that we're going through in this world is make believe and that you don't see it, because it's too blatantly obvious in 2020. Y'all see it, y'all choosing not to speak on it. That's the only thing that gets me.
Right.
I love my best friend Travis. I love you. He be calling it out, and I'm like, go ahead. I know if it ever came to a riot, he gonna be like, touch her if you want to, and he country his rifles and stuff. He'll knock somebody down straight for me, and I love you.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. Just don't be disrespectful in that sense. In my presence, where you're, like you said, down in Black women, down in our race in any type of way. Yeah. And don't be calling nobody daddy if you're a man. So. You need to go somewhere and figure it out.
Oh my goodness. Yeah,
you have to figure that out. So, but walking your truth. Really,
because you just can hurt so many people when you don't. Like, I wasn't dating a guy. I was talking to him, and in the beginning stages of talking, he told me that somehow he found big dicks attractive, or he was attracted.
Not somehow.
You don't say somehow I have a fetish for big dicks. No, sir, that's not a fetish. I asked him, well, what do you want to do with them?
Oh my God.
I have a fetish for fat asses, but I know I want them bouncing on my face. So what is it that you want to do? And and he was like, nothing. I shouldn't have said nothing. No, you should. And I think you should explore that. And he was like, no, I would never do that. I'm not gay. Sir, if you're watching that, you're thinking about today. Like, if that's what gets you off, cool. Just do it. At least try it. Like Tank said, if you suck 2 bitches, you're not gay. You just
bye, bro. No, you're not gonna push that narrative out here. You're not gonna do that, Rebecca. Stop it.
I just think, like, look.
No. Stop it.
In certain situations, we hold men to a certain standard. Like, if a woman is sleeping with 3 men or 3 women, men consider her a hoe, right? But if she were to sleep with a whole bunch of people, females in college, and then she got out of college, just dated men, got married, and lived happily ever after in a heterosexual marriage, we wouldn't say that she's gay.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
So
yes, I would.
But I think that there's a but I think that that's to each his own too. You know, I think that I think majority, maybe a lot of people or maybe a lot of society may not look at it that way. I actually think that more people would look at if you actually participate or act or act on that, or if that's something that you're attracted to in terms of the same sex, then I mean that's kind of the definition of being homosexual. So walk in it if that's what you like, but you can't just kind of run away from that, Rebecca.
I just don't agree. I don't agree.
I always disagree with this.
We do, but if college, she's figuring herself out. College is where you're supposed to do that. She get out of college, okay, cool. I just want to get married, have kids. She's not actively sleeping with women. You know what I mean? She's like not pursuing women. She tried that shit. She had a hot little minute. Cool, it was fun.
Uh-huh.
Next, even for a guy, he tried. He was having fun. Maybe he decided that's not for him. He's moving on, and that's cool.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No. So I will. Okay. You know what? Realistically speaking, it is more acceptable for a woman to go to kind of explore than it is for a guy. And it's interesting because there have been guys that I've come across where you know, they've made that comment of, you know, I've done this, but now I can't go back because this is, you know, what I'm forever going to be like stigmatized as, or this is what it was going to forever be following me. I mean, at the end of the day, it's still all about being honest with yourself and being honest with who you're going to be with. You know, if you've done that in the past, I think there's also people out here that's not going to care, you know, what you've done in the past, as long as you can, if you're making it clear that that's no longer you, or you're no longer interested in that, you're trying to move forward with them. There's people out here that'll respect that, and that'll
for sure.
willing to move forward with you, but you still have to keep it honest. You still have to keep it honest.
Always walking your truth, man.
There it is.
That's what you really got to do. So walking in your truth, E. You to move back home. So where do you feel like your journey's taking you? What truth are you about to walk in?
I would say right now, I'm in a space where I'm just like owning and designing my life for how I feel it's meant to look. I look back a lot on all the obstacles that I've been through, all of those problems that I would call them that I had, all of those. It's just all of those times where I just felt like I was at the end, and there was no next step for me. I look back on all of that, and one of the things that I can appreciate most about where I am now is my mentality and just and having understanding. And one of the things that I understand is that problems are a gift, and it's a gift of growth at the end of the day. So right now, I've blossomed into a person that is definitely not the same person that I was 5-6 years ago.
You're welcome.
I'm continuing to heal internally in areas that, you know, will allow me to fully blossom. I'm continuing to learn. I'm currently in the process of becoming a certified life coach. My best friend and I were partnering together to establish our nonprofit organization for mentoring young women. You may see a podcast in the works as well, so
that's amazing.
Keep an eye out for that. And ultimately, I'm continuing to fulfill my purpose and my passion of being that positive guidance or influence on other people. So whether that's in my day-to-day work, you know, these goals that I'm looking to accomplish. Overall, it's just about progress for me. Personally, I believe progress is happiness. The more you grow, the more areas you grow in, the more you have to give back to those that still may be struggling in certain areas. So And that's where I'm at right now. That's where I'm at right now.
That's a beautiful place to be, man.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. It takes a lot. It takes a good support system to get here, because you're gonna contradict yourself along the way. You're gonna contradict why something is happening to you. So you have to have certain people, and I'm very thankful for people like you, people like my best friend Jerica. I'm thankful for a lot of people that have been able to kind of be my mirror in times I needed it. And also that may have walked a certain journey ahead of me, that they can give me advice on as far as how to handle it or how to look at it a certain way. So definitely, so the support system that I have plays a key part to that, and also being willing to learn, being willing to grow, and being willing to continue to move forward. So I'm very, very grateful for where I am right now, mentally, emotionally. I'm grateful for the things that I'm working on right now. I'm grateful for all of it, and I can't wait to bless the world. I can't wait to show the world this new version of Erica and get out there.
Man, you already blessed in the world, girl. Yeah, man. But that's one of the things that really stuck out to me this last year was make sure you pour into your friends, because those are going to be the same people that pour back into you and remind you, like, no, friend, we're not doing that because X, Y, and Z. And sometimes we just need a little nudge, a little reminder, like, okay, I'm tripping for a little bit. Let me get back and handle my business. And really beautiful moments that when you can deposit back into your friends' lives. So thank you. I appreciate it. And man, I really appreciate you kicking off the first segment with me of Real Talk with Regal.
Absolutely.
Oh, it was amazing.
Thanks for having me. It's been a long time coming, girl. A long time coming. So I'm glad we were able to make it finally.
I know. And now we can do more stuff. You can just come on stage. It don't have to be this segment, and just, man, get it popping. So let the people know where they can find you, because it's a beautiful journey. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. You guys, Erica is so inspirational. She's so intelligent. And what I really appreciate about you is that you're very welcome. You take the time to make sure that what you're giving out is accurate, it's truthful, and that it's meaningful. You're not about bullshit. You don't want to be associated with anything that might not match your values. And I think in this day and age of just content being put out, that's a really beautiful outlook to have, because people can really be moved and motivated by that. So y'all make sure y'all go find her to see this journey unfold. You're not going to be disappointed. And let us know where we can find you.
Thank you so much for the kind words. I appreciate it, girl. So you can find me on IG at _ Erica, ERICKA speaks. And then, and then the underscore after that. Be on the lookout, like she said, for a lot of more content to come. Just motivational messaging. You'll be getting updates and details about my journey along this way of fulfilling my purpose. Hopefully some of my experiences, because that's what I pull from. I try to be as genuine and as authentic as possible, and the only way I know how to do that is to speak from places that I've been in and from spaces that I've been through. So hopefully some of my experiences and my messaging can resonate and shed some light to you guys, just above all, just how to keep going and just finding your happiness.
Well said, friend. Well, you guys, I just want to remind you guys to stay true, love you, fuck self-doubt, peace, and blessings. Until next time, y'all, come and kick it with me on another episode of Real Talk with Regal. Peace.
Peace.